guys, welcome to the 760 podcast. This is Nick with Raw Media Productions, and today I am with Sheena, Tom, and Brandon from 760 Fitness and HGF. And these guys are going to talk about how their family got started, how they integrated their family in starting their business, and all the wonderful things that happens with that, right? So, Sheena, can you tell me a little bit first, how big is your family?
Oh, well, we have 4 kids. We have 6-year-old twins, and then Brandon is going to be almost 20, and then we have a 16-year-old son as well. Tons of other extra family members, though. So,
Okay.
aunts and uncles and cousins that all live around, and a couple sisters, things like that.
Brandon, this is the first time we've seen you on the podcast. Can you tell everybody who you are and what got you into fitness?
Yeah, so I'm their oldest son, and when I first got into fitness, it was through him actually. He had me working out when I was 15 or so, just to keep me kind of more disciplined, keep me on the right path. When I was 16, I started training for my mom, so that was a really big step to actually get involved in the business. By the time I was 19, we were in the development of 760, and then I was an assistant manager for a little bit. Now I've been fortunate enough to help them alongside the backside component of the businesses. So
Okay.
that's what I do.
Tom, was it pretty important to get your son into fitness?
Yeah, at that time, it was necessary. And again, health and fitness is incredibly important to our family, and it always has been. So yeah, and have him started at a younger age was a big thing.
Awesome. It seems like entrepreneurship is kind of important to your family too, right? I mean, you're now doing managing at 760?
To an extent, so I'm not necessarily a manager. I'm just helping manage some components of the growth of 760. There's still a lot of backside, as they've mentioned before. There's a lot of learning curves and everything like that. So I'm just happy to be a part of the process.
Okay. And with your journey from HGF to 760, your family has been a big part of that. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, I certainly couldn't have done any of it by myself. In the beginning, especially, you have no money to invest, so you have to do everything yourself. And this poor guy got worked hard, and so did the kids on things. It was long days, all hands on deck, painting and cleaning and all sorts of stuff. But I know it wasn't fun during that time. I feel like they learned a lot of valuable lessons, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Even from the HGF days, we have the memories of demolishing walls and then the painting. I absolutely hate painting, but you learn how to do it. And then, with 760, putting the flooring in, pulling all-nighters, it isn't fun in the moment, but there's such a level of fulfillment, and joy and satisfaction after you're done, and you look at it and you think about all the hours you put into it, and you're proud. You're proud to have been part of this transformation of a building into something that's far greater than yourself. So,
Okay. Was entrepreneurship kind of something that was important to you guys as parents to instill in your kids, or?
So when we first started dating, one of the first dates that we had, Tom made me watch these entrepreneur videos, and he said, "This is really important to me. I wanted to be a school teacher."
This was the first date, is that?
Yeah, one of the first dates. Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna be an entrepreneur."
First date was at the gym, then the next date.
Yeah, so I don't know if he had read, and he was passionate about entrepreneurship, and he kind of brought me into that passion of his and opened my mind to what that could look like. And so, yeah.
What are some things you guys do as a family to, encourage entrepreneurship? It's something about a cash flow game?
Yeah. So he loves Robert Kiyosaki, who's self-made and, did a lot of sacrifice to get to where he is and worked hard and preaches that. And he has a game called Cash Flow, and he has a kids version and, an adult family version. And so there were many nights when we would break out the board game, the Cash Flow game, and it taught the kids math, how to, to count up your money, or what is how fun an expense is when you're looking at it. A doodad is what it was called. Like, you bought this to go on vacation. Give me your money. It was
right.
a good lesson of, okay, you have a certain amount of money, and what do you do with it is important. So yeah, that was fun, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely, we started that in the beginning and we've been doing it ever since. So it's, yeah. And then that would be probably how we started getting entrepreneurialism into the kids. But honestly, it really kicked into high gear here when HDF was started. And we really went, down and started learning what it was really like to put the nose to the grindstone.
Okay. And how important has that been to you, Brandon?
It's been extremely important. As a young man growing up in a world like this, there's a lot of room to get into materialistic things.
Sure.
And I've been fortunate to have parents who kind of instill the fact that you don't need your materialistic, shiny new things right now. You need to be looking into the future, kind of looking 5 steps ahead with your money. And especially with cash flow, it breaks it down in a simple manner, but it is like, you have this amount of money, I could go get a doodad, or I could go and get something to invest in. And I'm incredibly fortunate to have parents to show me the way on my own rather than being someone else's employee. So
okay,
it's been great.
Yeah, just offer you a slightly different path in life.
Right.
That you have options.
Yeah, I wasn't forced into anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna play this game every night.
Help me.
So, I mean, growing through, basically 3 different businesses, I'm sure there was some familial strains that happened. Can you tell me a little bit about like what some of those strains might have been and how you got through them?
Sure. He was looking at you though, by the way. I don't know if you want to answer that. Time is precious.
Sure.
And when you're doing this sort of work, a lot of times that's the first thing that needs to go. And I think that is the biggest strain. I feel like I've been able to clean up my schedule over the years, and that was a huge goal of mine. So I can spend more time with my family, work for the purpose of being able to have a little bit more time with your family. I think that's the most important. And so that's been a learning curve for me.
There's a lot of upfront sacrifice of
Absolutely.
time to get some in the back end, right?
Yeah.
It's an investment.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
And Tom, how do you feel about all that?
Yeah, it's definitely, I would agree entirely with Sheena on that one. There have been stressors on the family, when you've done this for now, what are we at? 14 years pretty much since the start of HDF. It's, your time is definitely not your friend in the beginning. And it did put a lot of stress on the relationship. And I'm sure Brandon will caveat on this as well. There was a lot of, as Sheena mentioned earlier, a lot of time where we were just in the place or in the studio at that time until 2-3 in the morning. The kids were, watching or sleeping on some yoga mats at a point. It's a rough start. And when you start a business, it's not easy. And, that was a lot of sacrifice, and the kids did learn a lot in that process. I think that's probably the one thing we really missed in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And you can't get time back.
Yeah.
So
and that's the beautiful part about it now is we've been able to find some time as we've refined our skills, and bringing Brandon on to help refine those even more was a big plus. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're learning and trying to grow even as a family every step of the way.
Brandon, did you feel like you grew up in HDF?
So obviously they're the memories of my younger brother and I. He's 3 years younger than me. We would go there after school until 7, 8 sometimes. Especially if my dad was on travel and my mom was working all day. In the moment when you're 7 or you're 8 years old, you're just upset. You're mad, you're angry that you don't want to be there. You want to be home. You don't get it yet. 7, you don't get it up until like almost 14 or 15. When I started working for my mom as a trainer, when I was 16, I really saw how hard she worked and how much passion she put into it. From there, my mindset completely switched. Rather than me thinking, my mom is choosing business over me, it's more so my mom is choosing to put herself in this position where she's working and working and working towards this business for her family. You don't see that when you're younger. So sure, I might have had some tears and threw some fits when I was 10 years old, but looking back now, I am incredibly inspired by her work ethic. So
that's awesome. That's
Thank
so cool
you.
that you can get that out of your family. That's great.
Yeah.
So you got an internship program. Tell me about that.
So over at High Desert Fitness and 760, we're going to be running we already ran an internship program. We'll continuously run that as time goes on. The most exciting part about that is that we're offering new tools and resources that we didn't have beforehand for our trainers, as well as various locations, whether it be the hospital location, 760, High Desert Fitness. In addition, we're able to put more time and energy into them. So we'll do the shadowing hours with them. We'll do case studies, which is almost like a little quiz for them.
And help pay for their certification and kind of walk them through the process. So really their only qualification needs to be that they're passionate about fitness and also with people. And we take care of the rest. So
are we looking at high school students or college students?
Not high school quite yet.
Right now we have a wide range of interns. Actually, we have the youngest is 19, and then we have other people in mid 40s
a mom of four, like myself. Yeah,
so it's not just kids in school. It's even adults that are looking to get in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So that's been a really exciting thing, and it's one of those opportunities that we are fine tuning. We just had the first one a month and a half ago, and we hope to continue to do that on a much grander scale at 760 and promote it at the college, promote it at the high schools, wherever we can to get people passionate and excited about fitness. Because a lot of people, when they first get into their journey, they realize that they want to share that sense of pride and new self-esteem and accomplishment with other people. So that's something we're really looking forward to in the future.
Awesome. And Tom, I've heard you were so passionate about what you're doing that you were able to leave your job on base and do 760 Fitness full time. I'm sure that was a big payoff for you and your family.
Yeah, that was a huge step for all of us, and that was kind of one of our goals was as we delve deeper into the entrepreneurial web was to find a way for us to not have to be necessarily tied to that 9-to-5 job. And as Brandon mentioned earlier, that's part of, growing or helping them grow and see other things or other options out there so that we can all know something different. So yeah, we've had that option, and it's been a blessing and a curse in many ways, but sure. It's been a lot of fun, and it's neat to have a chance to step out of the ordinary and try something different.
Sure. And you guys have been doing this for a long time, but there is a saying that if you want to succeed, no matter what, burn the boats, right?
Amen.
All right, get rid of your, is it golden cow? Is that what Robert Kiyosaki calls it?
Does he?
Yes, he does. He has the golden cow comments as well.
Awesome. Well, and then can you tell us a little bit about your twins and your younger family?
Yeah. So again, they've been part of it. We have pictures of them when they're little tinies, who are doing work, and they actually painted the little what is it, the posts that are out front of 760, the concrete posts.
Okay.
They were the staples red, and they were so excited to do something. So they actually painted the red strip green, and they did that. Were they 6 or 5 when we started?
They were 5 when we started.
Child labor laws.
Yeah, and they were
interns.
Yeah, exactly. They helped with the childcare room.
Yes,
recently in our
they were
remodel.
so excited, especially my daughter Adeline. She got to help shop for the stuff and pick out the cool things for the kids to go in there, and she helped paint the little mountains on there too. Her and I did that. So yeah,
and their handprints are all over the walls.
Yeah, that is. They did get painted hands, and
that was intentional. It wasn't an accident. I swear.
Yeah, so they're in it as well, but they're gonna have a much different experience because of the work that we were able to put in for that many years. It's not as much sacrifice time wise. They're gonna have a little bit of a different childhood than Brandon and our 16-year-old Weston had. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys, keep up on the entrepreneurship stuff, and that's really great. So again, where do people find you?
Yeah, they can go to 760fitness.com or highdesertpersonaltraining.com. 760 is located at 923 South China Lake Boulevard, and HDF is at 901 North Heritage Drive. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Google us for our phone numbers. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing about your family, and we'll see you guys on the next podcast.
Thank you.